First and foremost, I want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. If it wasn't for him, this would not be possible. Low Nose Boxing, hit the like button, share the video, leave a comment, subscribe. We got a fight in hand. We got a fight. We have a fight. Ryan Garcia was recently online working out with some guys in the gym, and they asked Ryan Garcia, do you have a fight? Ryan Garcia said he has a fight date, and they said, who you gonna beat up next? And he said Teofimo Lopez, July 25th. That is great news for boxing, that Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia may be getting it on July 25th, one day before my birthday. Now, a lot of people are not going to be interested in the news because Teofimo Lopez is coming off of a loss to Shakur Stevenson, right? Teofimo Lopez lost a one-sided decision to Shakur Stevenson. My favorite fighter, Teofimo Lopez, let me down, but he lost that fight. Now, the reason why a lot of people are not going to be interested in this fight at the moment is because usually a guy coming off of a loss doesn't get an opportunity in his very next fight to become a world champion. Here's the thing with boxing. We want these big fights to materialize. We want these big fights to happen, right? And a lot of these fighters are being very cautious with facing off with their contemporaries because they do not want to run the risk of losing and then becoming irrelevant and no longer getting them big shots. So they're not taking chances. Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia, if this fight happens, this is the perfect opportunity to change how boxing is, how boxing is perceived. You see, MMA guys can have losses and they're still praised. And boxing fans tend to throw fighters away over a loss, right? If we want boxing to go back to the glamour days when we had the original 5 kings of Sugar Ray, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, Marvin Hagler, Wilfredo Benitez, and those guys, we need to get back to having consistent, competitive matchups. Yeah, Teofimo Lopez took a one-sided loss to Shakur Stevenson, but it doesn't mean he's a trash fighter. See, a lot of fighters don't want to take chances and fight their contemporaries because they feel like they're going to become a meme. Now that we're in a social media age, they also feel as if they lose, they're not going to get another shot. They're not going to be taken seriously. They want to protect that, oh, well, Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia both have something in common. They have a few things in common, actually. Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia are fighters that have 2 losses. Both guys have 2 losses, right? Both guys are surrounded with controversy. Teofimo Lopez done said some controversial things. Ryan Garcia done said some controversial things. And now they're facing off with each other. Another thing that both guys have in common, both guys are 2 fighters that are compared to the 4 kings, the 5 kings. You know, today we have the group of Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Gervonta Davis. They've been mentioning Ryan Garcia amongst that class. I did not, because at the time Ryan Garcia was not accomplished. Ryan Garcia is a world champion right now. And Ryan Garcia has a victory over Devin Haney, even though on paper it's not a victory. But you know what? I know what I saw. I'm going to acknowledge that victory. Because if people are not going to acknowledge Teofimo Lopez's undisputed reign as the undisputed champion, right? If they're not going to acknowledge that, then I'm not going to acknowledge that fight not happening between Ryan and Devin, because we know what we saw. So Ryan Garcia is a quote-unquote part of the young kings today. And right now, if you ask me who would win that fight, believe it or not, it's a 50-50 fight. Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia are 2 of the most inconsistent high-level fighters today. Both guys bring into the ring a question mark in terms of what version of them are we going to see, right? We seen Teofimo Lopez look fantastic against Arnold Barboza, and then we seen him look mediocre against Shakur Stevenson, and a lot of it has to do with Shakur Stevenson's skill set. But nevertheless, Teofimo Lopez could have definitely put up a better account for himself in that fight. Ryan Garcia, we seen him lose to Rolly Romero. We seen him get stopped by Gervonta Davis, right? There's no shame in that because Gervonta Davis is a A+ level fighter, in my opinion. But we seen Ryan Garcia have bad performances. So when you look at this fight, the intangibles, it's very interesting. This will be the first time that Teofimo Lopez will be in the ring with a fighter with more power than him and faster hands than him. He's also a taller fighter. Ryan Garcia can win this fight if he fights tall, if he fights behind the jab, because Teofimo Lopez already struggles with cutting the ring off. Teofimo Lopez has not shown to be a front foot fighter. However, Ryan Garcia has shown that he can be discouraged. If Teofimo Lopez can hit Ryan with a good shot and get his attention and use his athleticism and his skills and his IQ to set traps and let Ryan give away his height, then Teo could go in and out, set traps, and walk Ryan into sharp counters, and then Teofimo Lopez could win that fight. But like I said before, it's hard to pick a winner. Because if you look at Teo that fought Arnold Barboza, you put him in there with Ryan Garcia that fought Rolly Romero the same night, I got to go with Teo by a whitewash. But if we get the Teo from the Shakur Stevenson fight against Ryan Garcia from the Mario Barrios fight, then I got to go with Ryan Garcia. But what about this question? Teofimo Lopez from the Barboza fight against Ryan from the Mario Barrios fight. Now we cooking. Now we in deep waters. Now we got a real good fight on our hands. And both guys are also mentioned with Devin Haney. Both guys have history with Devin Haney. But the tricky part is Ryan Garcia is due to have a bad performance. Teofimo Lopez is due to have a good performance. But it gotta happen. It gotta happen. Nothing is signed and sealed. Ryan Garcia is alluding to it. I'm hoping the fight happens. It's great for boxing. It's an example to show that just because you got a loss doesn't mean that you're over it. Doesn't mean that you're going to be thrown away. And I'm not one to really be quick to say, yeah, let me see somebody fight a world champion coming off of a loss. But in this case, let's make it happen. Ryan Garcia's already been in there with two of the quote-unquote young kings. He's been in there with Shakur Stevenson. Not Shakur Stevenson, my bad, Devin Haney. He's been in there with Gervonta Davis. Teo been in there with Shakur Stevenson. Now Teo's going to be in there with Ryan Garcia. Now we mixing and matching with these fights. Why not? Why not make it happen? Why not? Roberto Duran took a loss to Marvin Hagler. In his next fight, he took on Tommy Hearns. Why not? This is boxing. People want boxing to go back to the glamour days. Well, here we are. Teofimo Lopez versus Ryan Garcia. Both fighters have 2 losses. Both fighters have bounced back in the past from losses. I'm all for it. With that being said, hit the like button, share the video, leave a comment, subscribe. Low Nose Boxing, cause Low Nose Boxing. I'm out.